Hello, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast. Hello, 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 hello. It is wonderful to connect with you this week. It's wonderful to say hi, what's happening, what is going on in your world. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is that you are watching. Um, for those of you who will be live, yes, yes, yes. You know I love live. You know I love it. The interaction is just a blessing to my soul, to my mind, to my experience. So come on in. Let's do this. And for those of you who will hashtag it and replay it, let's do that as well. For those of you who will be on and I don't know you on, and I might not never know you on, I can appreciate that. And for those of you who will be used by Papa at some point down the road to encourage me. Yes, 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 and yes. My cheek is looking a little bigger than the other one. So yeah, let's do it. Whichever way you are, whichever uh category you find yourself in, I am grateful and appreciative and all of those things. And ready to have this here conversation. Let's have, y'all know I'm always playing with stuff, playing with, like making adjustments as we go, figuring it out. Good morning, Dorian. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, good morning, Judith. Ice. Good morning, good morning. This light is not working. So what are we talking about this morning? Turn it off. Learning from your own personal experience. Learning from your own personal experience. Look, I don't know if there's a greater teacher than our own personal experience. So I'm inviting us to do a year review, to go back through 2023 and decide what is your lesson. What is your most significant lesson of 2023? Before we get out the gate, let me just say how you frame it is going to affect your 2024. So if your significant lesson is something negative, you're setting yourself up, beloved. I am not one of those people who just believe in positive thinking and then we go from there. No, there has to be corresponding actions to get anything that we want out of life. So we do need to watch our words. We need to know what kind of seeds we're sowing because we will reap those seeds. So you need to be careful how you frame your lesson of 2023. What has been your life's lesson? That's what we're looking at. Good morning, sis. Good morning. Have a good day. Stay safe and warm. You too, sis. So, what's the lesson? What is your overarching lesson for 2023? Your life lesson. Now, I'm talking about lessons that will lift us. Now, it doesn't mean that the thing had to be positive, but the way you frame it must be life-giving. It doesn't mean that your situation was positive. It could have sucked, seriously. It could have sucked. It could have been, just very costly. It could be horrible. It could be all kinds of things. But the way that you frame it for your future must be life-giving. I need y'all to hear that. right? The way that you frame it for your future. If the way that you frame it is going to take you down in quicksand, I'm going to need you to change your frame, beloved. I'm going to need you to change your frame. If the way that you frame it is not going to be life-giving. Okay? Because that's going to impact your next. So I'm gonna need you to watch your frame. So let me look at. I'm gonna look at until January 2020. All right. So I want to make sure I add this. So this week will be our final week of lives until January the 2nd, 2024. Anyone who's been with me for any amount of time, you know that I take the last week off. That's the only week, that's the only time I take off during the year from our lives is that last week I take off from doing the 540. Now I might do lives throughout the week, throughout any other time of the day, but I don't get up. So this is our final week. So this is our final lesson of the year. So let's make sure we get it. Learning from our own personal experience. Let's do that, right? Let's be sure to learn from our own personal experience. We want to make sure that we are doing that, right? We want to make sure that we are learning from our own personal experience, right? Come, I'm not getting what I want. Okay. So let's see. We got another comment. Good morning, Tisha. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So life has so many lessons for us. So when you think about, when you consider what this year has been like for you, my question for you is scroll, save. Okay, let's see if that did it. So when you think about it, show it. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. When you think about what this year has been like for you, like it could have been a wonderful lesson. It could have been wonderful. But what are some? So I'm inviting you to look at the lessons you've learned. Like take this week, beloved, and write down all the lessons you've learned. What are the things that stand out for you for this week? I mean, this year. What is it? What are the themes that have consistently shown up in your life for this year? Your own personal experience. What's been your personal life lessons for this year? And then what I invite you to do is come up with your overarching lesson. So what are the things you learned? Write them. Write them. Let them come to you this week. What have you learned? What have you discovered? What is your new knowledge? What have you been reminded of? All of those kinds of things. And then I'd like you, before the year is out, I invite you to decide what is your greatest lesson, right? What is your greatest lesson? What's the overall theme of your life for 2023? It's the overall theme. And so, because we all have lessons that are our own personal life lessons. No one can teach us our lesson. right? No one can give us the lesson that is uniquely ours. And so I'm inviting you, beloved, to know what is your personal life lesson and to be available for that lesson. So, and then again, like it's imperative that if it was something that was difficult, that was hard, that was heavy, that you frame it in a way that will lift you moving forward, that will give you life, that you frame it in a way that allows you to leverage from it and not be consumed by it. And that comes from the narrative that you attach to it. You know, if you struggled with relationships and you say, well, people are just, oh, you got to watch what's just on the other side. You could say people are just different. People are come in a variety of packages. Some people are whatever. But if you classify all humans in a negative light, you get that back. The best, not the best, but go neutral. If you can't go life giving, go neutral. People are different. That's neutral. People come in all shapes and sizes. That's neutral. People show up to support and some show up to take away. That's neutral. So you got to decide what that looks like for you. You got to decide what it looks like for you. But you don't want to speak it in a way that's just going to put a weight on you, right? So go neutral if you can't go life giving. It reminds me of the old saying we used to hear: if you can't say something positive, don't say anything at all. Now, again, the positive thing can get tricky because I am not encouraging us to lie to ourselves. I am not encouraging us to be Pollyannic, if that's a word, right? And to not look at things soberly. But I also know that in life, there's always something to be grateful for, always something to be grateful for in life. And that sometimes we must lean into that which we can be grateful for to make sure that we don't succumb to the realness, right? The challenge is the weightiness of life. So, learning from our own personal experience. No one experienced what you experienced, not just like you did. No one experienced what you experienced. So, one of my 2023 lessons is that love still wins. That's an old lesson. I already knew, but it was reiterated. Love still wins. Love wins no matter what. Love does not lose. Love is the way, the truth, and the life. And love wins out. Love trumps fear every day. Love trumps hate. Love wins. Another one of my lessons this year is that integrity matters. Integrity matters. Now, and I'm not saying that these are new lessons. I am saying that I've had some very either what's the word? Poignant experiences with them, or just continued reminders. But yeah. And happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. because happiness isn't something that we go get. Happiness resides within us. Good morning, my cousin. I love you too. Happiness resides within us. Happiness resides within us. So it's a choice. It is a choice, and it resides within us. So I want us to look back. I'm inviting us to just look back and do a review. Do a review of your 2023. What's your primary lesson, so that you and I can learn from our own personal experiences. What did 2023 teach you? What's your lesson? What's your personal learning from our own personal experience? Learning from our own personal experience. We've had a year, however many years you've been living, but I am limiting it to, or looking at it, reviewing it from 2023. If we learn from our own personal experience of 2023, what is our lesson? What's our headliner? What is your headliner? Because that's going to set you up, beloved. As you do a year in review, it's going to set you up for your 2024. And believe me, it is imperative that the conclusion you draw about 2023 is a life-giving conclusion. And it may simply be that I can get back up and I can restabilize. 2023 taught me that I can restabilize, that I can get back up. 2023 taught me that there is more life in me than I knew. 2020, right? So even if the situation was difficult, the way you frame it matters, because your frame, if you put on a frame that's heavy, a frame that's dark, right? A frame that is negative, a frame that robs life from you, you're setting yourself up for 2024. So watch your language, watch your thoughts, watch what's driving you, watch those emotions that might be leading you to say something negative about your lived experience in 2023, because it's setting up your 2024. So I'm not saying that the experience wasn't rough. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that there wasn't significant loss. I am not saying that at all. I am saying how you frame it matters. And so, what is this? So a lot of times what I how I compare it to when we've had significant hits in life and we think we can't take next steps, look for lights and lift. I just remind us of people so Viktor Frankl or folk like him who were in the Holocaust. What did they have to do mentally to make it out and then to thrive after? Anyone in slavery, okay? What did they have to do to make it out and then to be able to thrive after? Right? Anyone, Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for decades upon decades. What did he have to do to make it through and come out with the kind of attitude that could lead the greatest reconciliation movement in our history? What did he have to say to himself during all of those times when he was so unjustly imprisoned? Lesson: time is going to pass whether or not you do it. Whatever the it is you are putting off, just So just do it. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Tisha, for sharing your lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Right. And so as we think about yeah, so as we think about it, look at those individuals and look at the lessons that they have. And I want to share this. I didn't. Okay, finally we go lives and stay tuned for the final. All right, so here we go. I wanted to show this as well, so we know. Oh man, it's still not here. Okay, so next week, I want to. Lord have mercy. Hold up, bear with me for a minute. Stay tuned for the final, for the date. The final. Oh, not that. Self-love. All right, now let's see. Save it. That's what I wasn't saving it. So it wasn't showing, and I want to take it off the ticker. Okay, here we go. Save and show. Okay, so final week. This is our final week this week of lives, 540 lives. But we will end the year next week with a self-love revolution. We will end with a self-love revolution. So we're going to, we're deciding on the day. So we'll let you know what day, what evening, one evening next week, we will end the year with a self-love revolution. If you don't know, you ought to know. And so we'll get that date out to you as soon as possible. It's basically a 1 hour, maybe hour and a half session where we end the year loving on ourselves, like throwing everything in the kitchen sink out there to, good morning, Ray, good morning, to declare that we love us, that we love us, we love ourselves. And it's one of the greatest gifts that we can give is loving ourselves so that we have plenty to love others with. So this week is our last week of our of the Y5 AM until January the 2nd. I take that week off. And then next week, we will have our final self-love revolution. All right. I love you. At the moment that Abba gave us our breath, me and you, we forfeited, we relinquished, we gave up the right to not be amazing. You and I, we simply don't have the right to not be amazing. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.